George Gervin, Adrian Dantley, Alex English, Bernard King, Dominic Wilkins, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, and Kevin Durant. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why did I just randomly name 19 NBA legends with absolutely zero context? Well, this wasn't random, because these are all the NBA players who won at least one NBA scoring title since 1980, and of these 19 players, only 10 of them won a scoring title 2 or more times. Of these 10 players, only 3 of them happen to be at least 7 feet tall. Take a wild guess. What do you think these players have in common besides height? Yes, they were dominant. Yes, they were arguably the greatest scorers of their generation. They weren't extremely skilled. All of that is true, but of these 3 players, only one of them has 4 scoring titles by age 25, the last of the 4 being awarded in 2014. But just 2 years after that, the greatest team on the face of the earth got their hands on the world's most effortless scorer, the only man in NBA history with scoring titles to go along with jaw-dropping career shooting splits of 50, 39, and 88. Can you imagine what the rest of the world was feeling like when they found out the team who just won 73 freaking games got their hands on this offensive juggernaut? Yeah, I'd be holding on for dear life too. On July 4th, 2016, we received news out of the NBA that we thought we wouldn't ever hear. A 27-year-old Kevin Durant, just entering the peak of his prime, had joined forces with the reigning NBA MVP Steph Curry. Now, as a diehard LeBron fan, I'll admit, I was pretty ticked off. But looking at it in hindsight, 5 years after KD and the Dubs disband, I can't help but look back at the destruction this man caused for 29 other NBA franchises. In Kevin Durant's time in Golden State, he averaged 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in 208 regular season games. But in the postseason, those numbers jumped to 30 points and 7 rebounds on 41% shooting from three-point range. This was a 7-foot-tall dude doing that alongside 2 of the greatest shooters in tandem we had ever seen. And that's not even me mentioning his 2019 playoff run when KD averaged 32 points, a block, a steal, and an absolute mind-bending 44% from the three-point line. But before we get there, we can't skip over year 1 and year 2 for KD in the Bay, aka the time the rest of the NBA turned in their keys and said, "No mas." By the time KD joined the Warriors, he was already an MVP and finished second place in the MVP voting 3 other times, including the 2009 season when KD averaged 30 points per game at just 21 years old. Heck, if the relentless Kobe Bean Bryant said you were the only guy he could never figure out, you know you're gifted beyond anything. Before the age of 25, KD made a finals appearance, won multiple scoring titles, and lifted a laughably bad franchise from the doldrums to title contenders in just a few seasons. We were talking about KD as someone who had a realistic shot of breaking the all-time scoring record and maybe would even go down as a top 5 player to ever play in the NBA. Now, if he was already this good, having a long list of accomplishments that 99% of hoopers could only dream of, just how much better could this man get in Golden State? Well, little did we know that KD would fit like a glove next to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, bringing out a completely different beast in his game. When the 2016-17 season started, KD went right to work, putting up 39 points on 7 of 11 for the three-point line against his old pal, Russell Westbrook. When he met the Thunder again, he again played like a man possessed, dropping 40 points on a ridiculous 81% shooting from the floor. That was the game KD and Russ had this memorable interaction, with Russ barking at him despite being down 1,000,000 points. But I think we can cut to the chase, because like we all imagined, this Warriors team would cakewalk to 65 to 70 odd games with their eyes closed. The postseason is where we got to really see the explosive potential of this team with KD. Before the postseason started, KD doubled down on his move to Golden State by saying, "I made the 100% correct decision, win or lose. I feel like this is the place I was supposed to be. I appreciate everything I've done before this, but I'm here now, and I feel it's a great spot for me to be." After saying something like that, you knew the heat and pressure of performing was going to be piping hot on KD. Now, how would he respond? In the 2017 NBA playoffs, Kevin Durant's performance was not just a display of skill, but a testament to his dominance on the court. KD's dominance as a scorer was evident throughout the playoffs. He averaged 28.5 points per game, showcasing his ability to take over games offensively. But it wasn't just about the volume scoring. KD's efficiency was through the damn roof. He shot an impressive 55.6% from the field, showing how easy it was for him to convert scoring opportunities at a high rate. But truly, it was defensively where KD was a force to be reckoned with, something he hadn't got much credit for in the past. He averaged 1.3 blocks and 1 steal per game, showcasing his ability to disrupt and cause turnovers, often leading to transition opportunities for the Warriors. But like most of us remember all too well, it was the NBA Finals where Durant truly elevated his game to another level. Facing off against the Cleveland Cavaliers, KD's performance reached historic proportions, boys. He averaged a staggering 35.2 points per game, proving his ability to thrive under the brightest lights. His efficiency remained insanely high, shooting an impressive 47.4% from beyond the arc, including several clutch three-pointers that swung the momentum in the favor of the Warriors. Like that iconic shot in transition.
Incredible opportunity. Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant.
In the end, KD's 2017 playoff performance wasn't just about the numbers. It was about his ability to rise to the occasion when it mattered the most. And contrary to what many were hoping, KD rose above the intense scrutiny and played his behind off. His combination of scoring, efficiency, defensive tenacity, and clutch play cemented his legacy as one of the greatest players of his generation. And his impact on the Warriors' championship run that year will be remembered for years to come without any doubt. A year later, there was a similar vibe in Golden State. More dominance, or I should say board dominance, three-point avalanches, 7-foot KD being 7-foot KD, and teams throwing their hands up begging for mercy. After the Warriors rolled through the regular season and squeezed out a victory in 7 games over the shorthanded Rockets, it was finals time for the Slim Reaper once again. KD, although not as otherworldly as the year before, still averaged an elite 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists per game in the series. He secured his first playoff triple-double of 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists in the series-clinching Game 4. Yup, that was all. Wait. He did it again. In Game 3, a series-defining Kevin Durant exploded for 43 points, including a deep dagger three-pointer late in the contest to steal the victory.
Kevin Durant way outside, delivers!
From the exact same spot as the previous finals. But if you thought back-to-back all-world performances in the finals was the highest point of KD's career, what if I told you that, a year later, KD was on his way to accomplishing something even greater, while looking significantly more dominant in the process? See, 2019 was a crucial year for the Warriors because they had a legitimately great shot at becoming the first franchise to three-peat since the Lakers in 2002. And for a while, it really looked like they would capture a third straight title with how next level KD was performing. Before an unfortunate May 9th calf injury against the Houston Rockets in the semifinals, Kevin Durant was on his way to achieving something so special that I don't think too many people could have argued that he wasn't a top 5 player of all time. Now, you might recall the series where Kevin Durant and Patrick Beverley were going at it. Pat Beverley was doing what he did best and was actually doing a reputable job guarding KD despite being a freaking foot shorter. But you might also remember these famous words from KD.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
After KD uttered these remarks, he said enough with the games, enough with the narratives, and enough with this little pest trying to wrap himself between my legs every play. Oh, sorry for my language. After Golden State blew a 31-point lead in Game 2 of its first-round matchup against the Clippers, a game in which Durant took only 8 shots, he shrugged off the idea that he needed to get into a personal duel with the feisty Patrick Beverley. I'm Kevin Durant, he said. You know who I am. Ensuingly, Kevin Durant went on a breathtaking offensive tear, averaging 39 points per contest over the next 8 games. It was midway through this run that Golden State head coach Steve Kerr said,
He's the best player in the world, most skilled player in the world.
This included a jaw-dropping performance like his 50-point masterpiece in a demolition job of the Clippers in Game 6 of the first round. In fact, KD beat those guys so badly that both Beverley and Lou Williams felt like helpless children in front of the media after the game.
What more could you have done to slow Kevin down, especially in the first half?
I promise we tried.
In 12 games before he hurt his calf in the Rockets series, Kevin Durant averaged 32 points on 51% from the floor, 44 from 3, and 90 from the free throw line. Never, ever had we ever seen a 7-footer stomp on teams like that with that level of skill, finesse, and shooting ability. Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Kareem, Duncan, Olajuwon, All of them were dominant at 7 feet tall, but none of these guys were putting the ball through the net from 35 feet with an untouchable mid-range shot. Had it not been for injuries, KD would have probably been sitting here today as the only player in the NBA with 3 straight chips and finals MVPs, completing altering where he would land on the all-time ranking of the greatest players ever. Truly, KD's run in Golden State was something to behold. From titles, daggers, and shot making, to the MVPs, broken records, and the purest skill set to the human eye, Warriors' Kevin Durant was him.